This is my TNA Victory Road 2009 pay-per-view review. The pay-per-view just ended, and like pretty much everyone was expecting with this pay-per-view, this is just a complete throwaway pay-per-view from TNA. This is a pay-per-view right here that was nothing more than pretty much Impact quality matches. Now, there was at least one good match from it, but everything else was either average or very subpar or even worse than that. But I think most people were expecting that, and a lot of people's expectations were very low for this pay-per-view. But still, it just didn't turn out the way it should have. I thought maybe TNA, even though a lot of us were, not liking this pay-per-view card, I was like, maybe TNA could maybe do something with this, but unfortunately they didn't. The opening matchup was Angelina versus Terra for the Knockouts Women's Championship. This is kind of odd to start the pay-per-view off with a Women's Championship. I'm a huge fan of women's wrestling, but that's like one of the things that most casual fans do not want to see, like a pay-per-view start with a women's match. And the one thing that was a real dislike for this pay-per-view was there was no X Division title match. Now, I know Homicide just won the X Division Championship where he did the cashing in of the briefcase this past Thursday on Impact and defeated Suicide. But still, even though he just won the X Division Championship, he should at least had an X Division title match here for this pay-per-view. Especially an X Division match always as good as a pay-per-view opener. Now, this was a pretty good match with Terra and Angelina Love. Pretty much an average match between these two. I thought this was a better match than the match they had at the last, not last TNA pay-per-view, but the on their Impact match where Terra won the Women's Championship. Now, a little questionable booking here from TNA. Now, what they did here within this match, there was one part where the beautiful people were outside the ring. They got the hairspray, and they were trying to spray it in Victoria's eyes, accidentally sprayed it in Angelina Love's eyes. Then it looked like Victoria was going to go for the win, and as soon as she went for the pinfall, just a 2 count. Then at the end of the match, Victoria got pinned 1, 2, 3. Her foot was on the rope, but the referee didn't see it. And you expect, okay, maybe this match is going to get restarted, but they didn't do that. They just played it off that it's the referee's fault, and he cost Terra the belt. And after the match, Terra attacks Angelina Love. Before that, she super kicks the referee, Slick Johnson, and then she hits the Widow's Peak to Angelina Love. So these two are going to continue their feud. Now, this is a little questionable booking since Terra just recently won the Women's Championship 10 days ago on Impact, and she's already lost it. So what was the point of Angelina Love even losing that title? I think it would have much rather been a whole lot better if they would have had Angelina Love, not lose this title at all and kind of book it in a way where Terra keeps getting pissed off that she always gets screwed out of the title, and then finally down the road actually defeats Angelina Love. That would be a whole lot better. But this was a solid women's match. I would give it about 2 1/4 stars, but questionable booking as far as the decision of the match. Next matchup was Matt Morgan versus Daniels, and I was expecting maybe Daniels could pull something good out of this match, but if you don't know, Daniels is hurt, so that probably did affect this match. Wasn't a terrible match. It wasn't nowhere as bad as Daniels' last match at the last TNA pay-per-view, Slammiversary, where he had a match against Shane Douglas, but still, this is just an average match. That's pretty much all this pay-per-view was just a bunch of, average matches, maybe a little above average, but nothing that you would say, okay, you need to see this. That's what this whole theme of this whole pay-per-view was for the most part. Like I said, a lot of this stuff felt like it was a TNA Impact, but for some reason or other, the crowd was pretty hot tonight, so that was one thing. The crowd was into it, but you gotta say that's the way the fans in the Impact Zone are almost like anytime. They'll fucking mark out for a damn suplex and will pretty much get happy about anything and cheer for anything no matter what and say this is awesome no matter what happens in TNA. That's what a lot of those fans do down there. In this match, Matt Morgan gets the pinfall after hitting the elevator to Christopher Daniels in a 2-star match. Nothing terrible, but just an average, watchable match. Next matchup was Dr. Stevie versus Abyss. And the one thing they did earlier before this match, they went backstage for a backstage interview with Dr. Stevie, and he said he's going to institute this match to be no disqualification. So I thought, okay, this could possibly be very good. But this was just like a no DQ match you would expect to see on free television, not like a pay-per-view quality no DQ match, or something that Abyss would do pretty good on pay-per-view with. It did have blood in this match. Stevie Wristers did get busted open, and it kind of had a very, very cheesy Hollywood-type ending right here. What they did with the ending of the match was Abyss hit the black hole slam to Dr. Stevie. Then he got a taser out. There was a taser out there that Daphne brought out there. Lauren came out there, started attacking Daphne, went over and got in on Abyss's corner. And the end of the match, like I said, Abyss picks up the taser and tases Dr. Stevie, and just didn't. This part right here is going to definitely be in like Wrestle Crap or Botchamania, stuff like that. It just looked very bad. And at best, I would give it 2 1/4 stars. Wasn't a bad match, but I was expecting a little more from it, especially since they changed it to no disqualification. But still, even though they switched to no disqualification, we definitely saw better than what we would have seen if this match would have stayed as a official wrestling match. So it did improve. Like if this was a not a no DQ match, just a regular match, it probably would have been 1 star or a dud. That's probably how bad it would have been. The next matchup was Team 3D versus the British Invasion for the IWGP World Tag Team Championships. Yes, the IWGP Tag Team Championships, not the New Japan Tag Team Championships, even though TNA does refer to them as that, which makes them really idiotic. After the match, thankfully, I don't know if it was just a slip-up on Mike Tenay's part, but he actually referred to the titles actually as its real name and not what TNA wants to refer them as. And this was just an average tag match, just like the other tag match later on in the evening. Nothing too special in here. Team 3D pick up the victory like everyone expected. They retain the IWGP Tag Team Championships after hitting the 3D to Brutus Magnus. Then after the match, you see Kiyoshi and Sheik Abdul Bashir come out there. They attack Team 3D. Team 3D gets a advantage back on them, and there's a table placed in the ring, and then Bubba hits the Bubba Bomb off the top rope through a table to Sheik Abdul Bashir. And this match right here, 2 1/4 stars. Like I said, you're pretty much seeing with these ratings what this pay-per-view was. And then the next matchup was Shermell versus Jenna Maraska. And I thought, okay, before this match, it looked like, because I didn't know about the whole thing with Sojourner Bolt being out there and being in the corner of Shermell, and Amazing Kong being out there in the corner of Shermell. I thought, okay, maybe they're switching this to a tag team match, and Amazing Kong could maybe pull something good out of it, but stayed a singles match because I wasn't, familiar with the whole thing. Them two being in the corner of Shermell and Jenna Maraska, and this was just a god-awful match. This match right here, there's been some bad matches this year, and I know I might be overreacting with this, but this match right here was just utter shit. It was fucking garbage, and it's just a complete disgrace for TNA's women's division to actually having a woman in here that's from the fucking Survivor show, Jenna Maraska, be willing to pay her more and not actually pay more to an actual women's competitor, Gail Kim, that actually just wanted a raise in TNA. She would have been given that raise, she wouldn't have went to WWE, and TNA was dumb as fuck not to just give her the raise, and yet, instead of giving her the raise after, Gail Kim didn't, re-sign with TNA, they got Jenna Maraska, and somehow someone from Survivor, and not even a recent Survivor season, somehow actually gets paid more than that. And she does look good, I'll give her that, but she's a fucking terrible worker. I don't know why this match was on here. How the fuck did this match get on here and not an X Division title match? It's just fucking ridiculous. This match doesn't even deserve, 1 star. I'm just going to say this match is a dud. That's how bad it was. Then the next matchup was Kevin Nash versus AJ Styles for the Legends Championship. And what I'm about to say right here pretty much shows how this pay-per-view was. This was the match of the night. Yes, but Kevin Nash versus AJ Styles was match of the night. And it was actually an enjoyable match. I actually did enjoy this match. This is the only match of this pay-per-view I would give 3 stars to. Everything else is below 3 stars, or hell, almost everything else is 2.5 stars at best. But this match was enjoyable. I like the way this match was. What they did at the beginning, AJ Styles got in a good amount of offense. Nash dominated him, and it went back and forth in a good way. And Nash did go over in this match after hitting the chokeslam to AJ Styles, but the way this match was booked, it didn't hurt AJ Styles. And plus, I really wanted this Legends Championship to be taken off of AJ Styles, so it actually works better for him, since the Legends title wasn't really doing much for AJ Styles, but pretty much holding him back from actually being able to go for the World Heavyweight Championship. So now with that title off of him, unless TNA wants to have another Kevin Nash versus AJ Styles match, then I'm pretty sure you're going to slowly see AJ Styles progress back to the main event, which definitely needs to happen. And the thing I'm hoping to see happen, I'm hoping to see at Bound for Glory, Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles, and AJ Styles wins the Heavyweight Championship. Not only would that be a great match, but that would be a great moment for TNA. Then the next matchup is for the TNA World Tag Team Championship. Scott Steiner and Booker T teaming up to take on Beer Money Incorporated of James Storm and Robert Roode. This was like the Team 3D match, just an average tag match, nothing really special. Scott Steiner did, perform pretty good in this match. That was probably one of the highlights in here. And Beer Money is a good tag team. Just, I don't want to see Scott Steiner and Booker T team up, and I highly doubt that many people want to. And not only that, the way this match ends, you have Scott Steiner and Booker T win the TNA Tag Team Championships over a very credible team, Beer Money Incorporated, which, just defeated Team 3D, and Team 3D kind of put them over, and were putting them over as a top tag team. And then they lose to 2 old WCW guys and Scott Steiner and Booker T. Now they look like a complete joke, and they don't even look like they should even go for the Tag Team Championships after losing this. This makes them lose pretty much a lot of their credibility. Not all of it, but a good degree of their credibility. In this match, I would give 2 1/4 stars. Then the next matchup was Samoa Joe versus Sting, and I was expecting, okay, maybe this match could be pretty good, because their match at Bound for Glory 2008 was pretty good. I didn't like Sting going over and winning another World Heavyweight Championship at Bound for Glory yet again last year, but it was still a good match, so I was expecting somewhat of that caliber of a match. Unfortunately, you didn't get that. This just was a very bland and boring match. Just wasn't enjoyable at all. Wasn't, one of the worst matches of the night, but I was expecting a whole lot more out of it, and I would just give it, 2.5 stars. The way the match ends is Sting's got Samoa Joe in the Scorpion Deathlock. Joe looks like he's about to tap. Then Taz's music hits, because I'm pretty sure no one was surprised to see Taz here. One of the secrets, TNA did a terrible job of trying to actually hide that it was Taz. I'm pretty sure everyone already knew it. And hell, they were even going as far as on their website earlier today, they were having, the number 13, the color orange, and FTW on the side. I mean, TNA, if you want to do something, at least try to make it seem like you're trying to keep something a secret, not just completely giving it away. And Taz just came out there, standing in the corner, and that's all he did, kind of distract Sting for a minute. And Joe put Sting into the Kikita Clutch or the Taz Mission, because that's the kind of version of that maneuver that he did do to Sting. And this was just, 2.5 star match. I was expecting a whole lot more out of it. Then you got the main event of the evening, which was Mick Foley versus Kurt Angle for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. And this match pretty much is summed up earlier in the evening by Kurt Angle, as Kurt Angle, in some way, I guess, because he did kind of like a heelish promo. He's like, you're not going to see the technical, great quality Kurt Angle match tonight. I'm just going to go out there and get the job done. That was pretty much what this match was. Kurt Angle, Mick Foley, just a match you would expect to see on Impact, not a pay-per-view match. And I wasn't expecting anything from this match at all. It actually probably was a tad bit better than what I was expecting, but that's not really saying much, since I was expecting 0 from it. I maybe got, a solid, watchable match right here, and I'll give it 2.5 stars. Kurt Angle retains the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. So, in this evening, you have the Main Event Mafia walk out with the World Heavyweight Championship, with Kurt Angle retaining the World Heavyweight Championship. Sting, not Sting, but Scott Steiner and Booker T winning the TNA Tag Team Championships, and Kevin Nash won the Legends Championship. So pretty much the Main Event Mafia went over in every match right here, especially since somewhat, you got to say Samoa Joe's a part of the Main Event Mafia, and he won his match. So the Main Event Mafia won every single one of their matches. And this pay-per-view right here, just pretty much stay clear of it. If you do check anything out of it, check the the Kevin Nash versus AJ Styles match, because I thought that was actually a pretty enjoyable match. Not a great match, but the best match of the night if you actually want to check anything out from it. I would give this pay-per-view a 4 out of 10. I know some TNA fans are going to pretty much say, oh, you're being too harsh, you're hating TNA. Well, this pay-per-view right here, just it pretty much gives what my problems are with TNA. This pay-per-view right here just wasn't anything good at all right here. And I know a lot of companies, okay, they have some throwaway pay-per-views, but you can at least, with a throwaway pay-per-view, you can at least put on maybe 1 or 2 matches that actually make it seem like it's worthwhile for the viewing of it. And, even though I enjoyed AJ Styles and Kevin Nash, it still wasn't a match that screamed out, you need to see it. It was just, I'm only giving it credit because as bad as this pay-per-view was, that was the only match I actually pretty much enjoyed at all. And yeah, that's it for my review of TNA Victory Road 2009. Peace.